You hear my voice every week, guiding you through investigations and stories that matter.
Good evening, everyone.
My name is Jamie Carr. Thank you for joining me for another episode of
Top Priority Chronicles.
Top Priority Chronicles. Top Priority Chronicles. But who am I? In episode 19, my son flips the script and puts me in the hot seat. I'll admit, I wasn't ready for some of his questions. What was the true spark that started this podcast? What personal experiences shape the way I tell these stories? And when the cases get heavy, what keeps me going? This isn't just a behind the scenes chat. It's a rare peek into the person behind the mic. And just when I think the interview is winding down, he throws in one last question that completely catches me off guard. You won't want to miss it. Welcome to another episode of Top Priority Chronicles. This is episode 19, and I would like to just thank everyone who has listened. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. And I hope this is the beginning of our future together. So today we're I'm usually sharing information about a previous investigation case, but this week we're going to do things a little different. I have invited my son, Nathan Powell, here to interview me, and this, with my intention behind this, is to help the audience get to know me a little bit better, and therefore, hopefully, as you get to know me a little bit better, I get the opportunity, as we start, not only you listen to the podcast, but hopefully you follow me on social media. I get to know you through your posts. You get to know me not only through the podcast, but also through my social media posts. And in turn, we, become, internet family. So I'm looking forward to growing with you all, and I look forward to getting to know you all. Nathan, take it over.
Yeah. Um, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings to the people. My name is Nate Powell. Um, I'm a Muslim, he who submits himself to the will of the Creator. I graphic design, so I launched the brand back in 2019 when it got serious for real, and moved to Atlanta. Went to school to learn art, design, and now have relaunched my mission to raise consciousness through fashion. I'm really excited. Doing a little bit of mentoring with minority youth, and have been blessed to teach some classes under nonprofits. So hoping to use the gift that God has given me, the platforms, to bring light into the world. But yeah, without further ado, we know who this is about. So we're gonna jump right into the some fire questions, man, to introduce Mama Dukes here, and Jamie Carr as the owner of Top Priority, and the this is like the introduction to her podcast. Um, So to jump right into it, I wanted to start out by asking, what inspired you to make this podcast?
I wanted a podcast before I knew what I wanted it to be about. So, um, to make a long story short, I recently had attended, a mastermind session and a couple mastermind groups with a couple of women of color who were, one was a brand strategist. The other one was, she she works with, had a history of working with the FBI and teaching body language. And these wonderful women helped me to start asking myself the harder questions, to delve below the interest to find out what in my heart was pulling me toward starting this podcast. And I think what it really came down to is just the bare basics. I've always been a nurturer, not only as even before being a mother, I've always had this need to like give back. So this need to whatever I have or whatever I learn, it's important to take that back to your children, to your home, to your community. So you not only teach them, um, yeah, you teach them how to fish for themselves. And so
Mm,
that's always been a beautiful concept to me and one that's resonated deep,
mm. Come on now. You getting straight to the values, huh? There you go. One for yourself, what you want for others.
right?
Or vice versa. One for others, what you want for yourself. So with that being said, it sounds like you were around other women that were uh in the confidence and maybe the pinnacle of their career. Who inspires you and why?
Mm.
What if you sit down to
You know, I mean, there's always these far out people out there that inspire me. I think Denzel Washington has always been like just a stand up person because he just really gets in a movie and acts his butt off. But when you meet him, he's the same person.
Mm,
Every time I haven't never met him, but when I've got to be in an audience to hear him speak, he's just being consistent with his character. Who
mm,
he is has stood the test of time, and
mm,
you don't hear any scandals or Denzel getting allowing himself to be in company that's not going to serve him well. So
mm,
I say he's somebody that I look up to as well as he is strong about his faith and he's a teacher. Just by taking that need to see the younger folks coming in underneath you in the this patriarchal role to just protect, to
mm,
instill with wisdom and shelter with protection. And so I think he is somebody that I look up to. I think Maya Angelou is somebody that I really looked up to just in her works of art. You can just hear as I started dealing with my own healing and peeling back the layers, I could hear the pain in her words, but yet she just had a nice way of stringing her language together that made everything seem like it was going to be all right. And,
mm.
um, you
Maya
know,
Angelou, expand. Who's that?
she's an African American author, poet,
Mm.
and author. And she's
Yeah.
no longer here with us. So you might want to read some of her writings just to
When
learn
did she pass? She was alive while you were alive, or she's
about.
older?
Yes.
Okay,
I would
okay.
say she's passed in the last 10 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And our Savior Jesus Christ is
Yeah.
someone that I admire, I look up to, and aspire to be like.
There we go.
And I mean, there's always a lot, people in the community, but I think just for those people I've admired from afar for a long time. And so I think they,
Mm. What about anybody directly in your life that's influenced you in a way that's inspired you to chase maybe someone in your family, some friends, church, whatever?
you know what, someone who comes to mind is my cousin Rosianna.
Mm,
And my cousin Rosianna Honeycutt was just a beacon of light for me, especially getting into starting my own business. Um,
mm,
she was an example of coming from not much and just trying to make the most out of her life and also like touching others along the way and not
mm,
needing any credit for the
mm,
support that she provided others. She didn't let her right hand know what her left hand was doing. And
mm,
I just loved that about her. She, a lot of people would say after her passing, people will say how much they helped her. And it's not something that she bragged about or told, but it was something that she always did. She always poured into others.
mm.
And
That's
I,
powerful.
I truly believe that, yeah, she was my biggest supporter.
Mm.
And no matter what I did, she was there to cheer me on. If she didn't agree with it, she still might pull me to the side and tell me what she thought, but she was going to cheer me on after that. She
Yeah.
just, direct to the point, genuine, loving person. And I miss her,
May Allah have mercy on her
man.
and bring her into one of his, places in the afterlife. Protect her. Uh, so, with that being said, what is your mission, your intention behind the podcast? What do you hope the people get out of this?
Mm. That's a good question because truth of the matter, I didn't really come up with a value statement about around the podcast. I want for the business, but not necessarily for the podcast.
Mm,
But just to keep it simple,
mm,
just going back to grassroots of things, it's just sharing information through storytelling. That's how our ancestors passed down information. They didn't write books. They couldn't read and write, but they
mm,
could tell story like a son of a gun. And
mhm,
so there's a part of me that feels like some of that was not passed on, maybe from the generation before me to now. There was a block, or maybe just, and maybe in a sense, they think that they're protecting us by not sharing that information, but just that lack of information, that lack of knowledge, is a real hindrance to the generations that come after us. So for me, it's a matter of me just sharing my story, not only with my children, but whoever will listen, sharing wisdom and knowledge that has been passed down to me through
mm,
my source of employment, through lived experience, through just parenting, through just everyday life.
mm.
Just making sure that we know that those stories are valuable, and a
I know,
culmination of stories can create power. So
yeah,
that's
I
that's
know you talked a little bit about kind of like preparing people for the system, right? So giving them the tools to be able to navigate, and especially minorities or African Americans who don't feel like their voice is heard, or they don't feel like their their questions or complaints are valid. So can you speak a little bit more on that, and how you feel like this might feed into those audiences and those hearts?
yes. So this is a big. My son and I had a dry run before this. And so this conversation is a spillover from that, where we did start about, and I forgot to talk about just
I got you.
my passion as a woman of color, and behind why I really started the podcast, to
Yeah.
give other people of color who may feel minimized or dehumanized by any system, not just the criminal justice system or court system, but by any system that you may come into contact with, whether it be employment, whether it be DHS, it be school systems. It becomes the systems that are in place to protect you also at times become the same system you need protection from. So I think what I talked to my son about is that there was just this innate desire to share knowledge about collecting information and teaching people of color about how to protect your rights by documenting.
Mm,
If you feel like you're being discriminated against on the job, it's important that you document, but just not documenting for the sake of documentation, but to help jog your memory should you ever need to take that information to court. And
mm,
that, you want to write down as much information as you need that's going to help you create a vivid picture of what happened that day. And
mm,
that whoever calls into question your memory, you will have enough documentation to help you vividly recall if your memory does come into question. But also, just the divorce system, having children, not being married, and custody and child support, and all these systems that are set up. And, people have their own feelings of how you feel about the systems. However you feel about them, they still need to be navigated. They are systems put in place that we have. They are put in place for us to, they're gateways. They're gateways for us to go get our needs met. We have to go and approach the system fill out paperwork, and mesh ourselves in the system to get our needs met. And
mm,
sometimes there's a trick, there's always a trick to the trade about doing that. And
mm,
so just being able to know people and work with somebody in the legal field, maybe know somebody who works at DHS, know somebody who's in the adoption field. So
mm,
whatever situation you go through, you can go and say, "Hey, is this normal? Is this the regular procedure?" And they
mm,
can say, "Hey, that sound, no, I've never seen that before." Or, "Yes, that is, in the past I was an adoption worker,
mm,
and I can talk to people about, is this normal for them to want to do all this X, Y, and Z before my adoption can be finalized?" And I can say, that the process I had to follow as a private adoption worker as well. So I can say that does sound familiar, or you know what, that sounds a little fishy to me.
mm,
I would just ask more questions to and find out why that's being done, and where it is in their processes and procedures. They explain that that's going to be done.
mm,
So not only just going to get your needs met, but also knowing that the systems have to help us understand, and that if we have the language and if we have the right,
yeah.
sometimes it don't have to be a right attitude, because sometimes it's not even the right attitude. It's just any attitude that's questioning things will be perceived in a negative manner. But it's just about you not worrying about how you're perceived, but really worrying about you getting your need met. And if you need to understand why a system is operating a certain way, you have the right to ask questions. You have the right to ask why a decision was made, and so just knowing and exercising these rights, and
Mm,
not just guess and assume, oh, I was discriminated against, or it was this and it was that, if we don't ask the questions that need to be asked.
mm. Okay, I like that. That's beautiful.
So,
Man,
yeah.
the opportunity to gear up the next generation and build on what our ancestors have created in order to help us overcome the oppression of the system. This is beautiful intention. May Allah elevate you. May He bless you, and may He give you all the resources and people that you need to fulfill the mission.
Thank you.
He guide the work. So, with that, moving on to the next question, I want to kind of keep going in that direction. Um, Are there any reputable services? Um, I mean, outside of your own, obviously, with promoting the top priority, your services that you offer, the purpose that you have within, your career, the books you're writing, to educate the people, self-knowledge. Are there any reputable services that are, accessible to the everyday man, that are affordable, that you recommend the people to have in their back pockets so that they can be in contact with people who can help them with navigating the system in areas that they're ignorant about, unaware.
Um,
Because a lot of people they don't got $500 to speak to a lawyer for 2 hours, 3 hours, right? So what services do you recommend so that because part of the barrier that I see within the legal field, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the knowledge is also preceded by the dollar. So it's like in order to get access to those type of people with the knowledge, we almost assume you have to spend that penny, right? So I'm saying, is there maybe even YouTube channels?
but the challenge with like saying names, if you don't get their permission to say their, you could be like your video could be not showed for promotion. Like if they ask you, this is a promotion video, so I won't be saying
Okay.
any community business names.
Okay.
That resource stuff, they have to kind of,
What about that one
because
that you told me?
I
What
can't say
what
it again.
about the one that you was telling me about? They do expungements. Is that something you can share or no?
I just don't know the name of the program, but I know that there's a host of resources that are available to the community, and I must say, like Black Portland, is like a social media platform. If
Okay.
you are African American, you live in the Portland area,
Yeah.
Even if you don't live in Portland, but you have family here and you're looking for resources, they're looking for resources. That
Mm.
is a helpful group to join to help you get community resources. You can go in there, you
Okay.
can ask for anything, even if the question has already been asked. They are very helpful at like pointing you back to maybe a past thread that has all these resources or questions that people would ask, or
Mm.
they can direct you to resources themselves, direct attorneys if they've had the experience. They can maybe refer you to maybe attorney groups that can give, helpful information at a discounted price. And there's also other, discounted attorney resources in our community that I would always encourage people to go and have an attorney hear your legal issue, even if you're paying, you have to, if they don't have a free time and you have to pay for uh, what do you call consult? Pay for a consultation. They can be a little spendy, but I would encourage you to call around and have an attorney hear your issue out if you feel like this is one of a legal concern.
Okay.
There's many times I didn't have the resources to hire an attorney, but there I just wanted to confirm was this a legal issue and have it documented. So I think having those resources and or at least a place where you can look for them is really key.
Okay.
Yeah. I even say talk to your neighbors, talk to the people close to you, talk to your family. You'd be surprised the wealth of resource that's underneath your nose
Mm.
and you have not because you ask not.
There you go. Talk to him. Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to ask a little bit, given maybe some background. Um, I know we're kind of winding down here. Um, what are your current goals? And yeah, what are your current goals as a private investigator, as a business owner, as a podcast owner? What is your goals that you want to share to the community? Maybe even uh, kind of rooting back to the intention behind the podcast.
Um, my goals with the business is to get more business,
Hmm.
but also to be known in the community for my character.
Hmm.
Like I don't just want to jump on a team and do what they, everything they ask me to do, but I want to be able to add value to
Hmm.
that team by my shared experience as a woman of color, and being able to speak to, where life kind of takes full circle, where the some of the maybe injustices or discrimination that I've felt and I've experienced that I now, on the flip side, be able to catch that a lot sooner, affirm that with a client that's saying that that was their experience, and then help be um, just a wealth of resource to my teammates about how we, and as we learn from each other on how to go and use our, skills and talents to
Hmm.
best serve our clients.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of leaning back into that initial reason why you started the podcast. So, um, I think this is a heavy one. And maybe this is because I'm a huge Malcolm X fan, so this is a question that I have.
We probably have almost 5 minutes, so
Mhm.
I think we have to be able to start
Yeah,
winding.
yeah. So, okay, you want to wind down?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. So it says,
because I'm trying to not answer kids knocking at my door because I know they hear me. But
yeah. So tell the people, first, what any calls to action that you are wanting to put out in the community to the listeners? Is there any calls to action that you want the people to be inspired off of this podcast?
So, I would love for all of my listeners to, the way you can support me is by following me on social media. On Facebook, I have my business as Top Priority Investigations, and I also have my private page as Jamie Carr, JaMMieCarr. Find me and follow me. I would love to get to know you better through our sharing our lives together on social media. For me, that's the most organic way to get to, It might not be getting to know somebody in their private life, but getting to know as much about you as that you're willing to share to the public. So that is how I hope to get to know my audience a little bit better. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm also there under Top Priority Investigations, and I also have my private page. I am Jamie Carr. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok. I'm under Lady J there. I'm on X. I don't use that much. I'm not much on that platform, but I am there, and I believe I'm under Top Priority INV Invest in something like that. I'm on LinkedIn also as Jamie Carr and Top Priority Investigations. I'm on Snapchat. I believe it's Jamie Carr. Don't quote me on that, but I love to. Um, I'm not savvy at navigating Snapchat, but I'm learning and I'm growing, and I know that there's kind of a younger crowd there, and I'm willing to get down with the younger crowd. The younger crowd will support you, so I want y'all to get to know me so you can support me. And YouTube, I have my podcast there, and I have little short videos there. Support me on YouTube, y'all. Jamie Carr 4321. Follow me. I want to follow you. Podcast. I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts that I'm aware of. I'm on many other platforms. I just don't know the name of them all. So check for me on your favorite podcast platform. And then if you think of it, DM me and let me know what platform that is, so I can add that to my list. I also have started writing, y'all, and I have gotten a lot of support on my latest book, but it is titled Truths We Hide, A Journey of Self-Love and Healing. And
There you go.
y'all can see that because it was
Yeah.
blurry, but that, and then I
Mhm.
have a trigger journal that accompanies it. A lot of folks have got the book, but I don't think you got the trigger journal. So get them both. They work in tandem, and the goal is to heal our community. Because if I
Mhm.
can heal, you can heal, your mama can heal, your daddy can heal, your kids can heal, everybody can heal. And if just imagine a world of us all being healed.
Come on.
A dream. That's okay. And then I repurposed my last work that I dropped last year. My poetic work. I repurposed it and called it Investigating the Heart, a poetic journey through life. Go out and support me, y'all, on Amazon. All these books are on Amazon, so feel free to check them out and let me know what you think. The last one is I repurposed my 31-day devotional, and it is called Spiritual Priority Daily Devotions for the Soul. And I encourage you to check them out, to support me the best way you can. I look forward to getting to know you as my listeners. I'm hoping to grow my podcast by inviting powerful speakers and people that have platforms in the community that are willing to share how they can be a tool to our community and how they can also help support. So I just appreciate you for stopping in and listening. And if you made it this far, now you are a true fan, and I appreciate you, and I want to follow you, and I want to know more about you. So please don't take that lightly. I look forward to getting to know all of who is listening to my podcast. So if you get the chance, shoot me a DM with your name, where you're listening from, and what drew you to my podcast, and I would definitely look forward to responding and getting to know you better. So, with that being said, and knowing I got less than a minute to go, I want to thank my son Nathan for taking time out of his day to come and blow up his mama's spot. And I just want to thank all the listeners for chiming in, and I just love you all, and I thank you, and I'm hoping that you guys are getting helpful information from my podcast. And if you something you want to see